huge study of herbs of the local lands. So they were sent out one time and they got lost and ran across a cave.
So you found Fraydo and Tahaosh, hailing from the land of Porso, chilling on Glock Hill, Sun Glock Hill, that's what the name is. They are metting on here, reminiscing from a time when they found that ball, when they were just little kids. It was Tahaosh, he was playing and ran across the street. Fraydo picked it up and was like, hey, this is mine now. Cause coming from a town of Porto, you can't really blame a kid like that. He never really seen a ball like that in his life. But Tash, like, that's my ball. My mama and papa gave it to me. Please, don't do this to me. And Fraydo was like, oh, I guess not today, not today. And ever since then, they was friends. They just went kicking the ball down the street, went for a hike and everything was all right. They went one day to their home and found that their dads were murdered viciously after just coming off from playing with the ball. Now, turn back the pages a few. The town of Porso is part of a country named Lostville, founded on unity, but now is part of a lot of mutiny. From the beginning, though, it was a group of people that said, hey, we're gonna do our own thing. We don't like what y'all got going over here. I know over there is the desert, but we're gonna take our chances, make our risk. And they was like, we don't give a fuck. We got everything that we ever want here. Y'all can just go. Y'all are crazy anyway. So they got together a good old team and they went over that hill and through the desert. Now they found another cliff. And once they approached that cliff, they found these 10 herbs that they never seen before. And it allowed them, once the ingestion it was coming about, it was little crops there to eat as well, to take care of hunger. They allowed them to communicate in ways that they'd never communicated with before. And this allowed them to build something that never was seen before. And they loved it. Families, water, plentiful. Now, some caught wind that they were still in the desert. Some said, hey, these special herbs, they started. Before the special herbs, they said, let's take this water and hide some and store it over there. And also take 3 of these herbs and put it over there as well, cultivate it, because we see that they're starting to dry up on the land. The other ones are still prosperous, but these 3 special ones, we're going to keep these to ourselves. And that they did. And the land still prospered on for hundreds and hundreds of years until, whoop, a drought hit. And they had nothing but the reserves that this few select family popped up out of seemingly nowhere with no real backstory, because we need this now. The town needed the water now. Now the herbs they kept to themselves still. And they were able to organize the people in a way because of these herbs that kept everybody functional within the equation of Lostville. But one day, Tahaosh and Fraydo's dad, they were journeyers, and they were huge study of herbs of the local lands. So they were sent out one time and they got lost and ran across a cave that had these drawings on there of this civilization they never heard of. And they saw them doing things that they never seen before. But the herbs that was on the wall were so familiar. And just at that second, they looked down and see a bug performing an activity that they see only the ones that were storing the water doing and calculate. And they were like, how is this Floco doing this? How is the Floco doing this? They took this back to Porto and said, hey, this bug is doing the same thing you're doing, and we found these ancient drawings. Whack! They were killed on sight. That was the last that was ever heard of them. Now, we flash back to Porto and Tahaosh. Kids eating ice cream. They love their ice cream! Oh, of all shapes and flavors. All the cones, leave them alone. They were in tune with all of the shop owners and managers, help clean up after hours and during hours, while in between them playing with their ball. Just doing what they do, having fun. And this one shop owner saw their friendship and was like, wow, this is really something that y'all have that's special, especially during these times. I want to show y'all something. He turns around, he rips a poster off the wall, exposing a crack with a hole that looked like it was done by a sledgehammer. It wasn't professional at all. But he goes through and it reveals this futuristic corridor that has the thing. The thing. It's an object that changes Fraydo's and Natasha's life forever, changing their plane of reality before their own eyes. And here we find ourselves starting the Taitastic adventures of Fraydo and Tahaosh, who don't always get along now, but the sense of adventure keeps them going. And to find out what happened to their dads. Why were they murdered? Could it have something to do with the thing? Just tainow, Tainow Studios. Thanks for enjoying part 1. If you enjoyed, stay tuned for part 2. Do what you do with share and tell all your friends. Catch y'all in the next Thai episode. Just tainow. Just think about it. This story copyrighted 2022 Tainow Studios.